Hello, Conquerors! Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Purple Bull Moose, and here we cover everything Old World. So please, if you want to support the channel, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what else you want to see from Old World. Whew. Well, the last time we played, we had one hell of a ride with the previous queen. Zealot absolutely doing some absolute work, cleaning up as much as we could of the Kush and able to actually cheese out the final ambitions that we need to close out, I believe, ambitions 7 and 8, if not 8 and 9. We're definitely getting to the end game here, guys. Things are about to seriously kick off, which means we need to be looking immediately for our next targets. We need to be getting our last ambition, our national ambition, is going to be 7 wonders inside of our borders. We've already conquered Yaz from Babylonian territory. We are not too far from also conquering additional resources out of Kush, but they only have, I believe, 1 or 2 wonders. We'll take a look at it later. But Assyria has a wonder, and they're currently under attack by Greece, which means they're very weak at this moment. And Greece has so many. Now, they are the strongest person on the board currently at this time. I think they might even be stronger than us competitively, and that is going to be a problem because when we complete these ambitions in just a few years, our opinion from everybody is going to plummet. But that's a problem for another time. Also, in other words, we might be looking for a builder. Maybe. If we're trying to build and we conquered all the ones that we need, well, why not build the rest? Let's get into it. Well, we did a lot of delaying, a whole bunch of stuff that needed to get done. We got to make sure that we're fixing up these buildings so we don't lose them in 3 years. Probably should bring another worker in to help us with the cleanup. Plenty to clean up here in Azerbaijan, completely surrounded by rebels. And we have, still Danes pouring in from the north? They even managed to capture a city. Granted, it's completely a useless city, but for the optics alone, I don't enjoy it. Taking a quick peek at Kush's territory, they do in fact have 2 wonders, the Hanging Gardens and the Pyramids. But that would involve the capture of at least 2, if not 3 cities, just right here with Hamadab in the middle. So Kyrgyz, Hamadab, and Nuri might all need to fall for us to pick up 2 wonders here. But it's very likely that we're going to go back up against Kush. The problem is they're going to be able to get their feet underneath them right now. If they're not going to be openly at war for the first time in probably a couple of decades, they are going to be finding themselves with additional training that they're not otherwise using. That means we might be seeing some upgrades come out of here. And if these spears turn into pikes, well, we certainly need to be focusing on our science to go battle line into cohorts immediately. Pikes would be the #1 counter to our units. All of these elephants aren't going to do much good. I mean, they did amazing in this war, but they won't do much good after this if we lose them from here. We do also need to be focusing on protecting our units. The spearman is fine, but I want to first repair our walls all the way through, and then immediately after grab some walls. So we'll repair the damage to the city, build walls up and around it, grab an additional spearman, maybe a moat after the spearman, just to really make sure that we don't lose the city if an additional war pops off. Yaz is now in our back pocket, and we will keep it there. As we are picking up these individual wonders, we should keep in mind exactly what they're providing us. For instance, state religion cities are now giving us an additional 20 civics, so that's very good. Not to mention, this is going to rapidly increase our victory points, so there is certainly something to be said for the amount of points we're about to pick up. We got 3 more coming on in 4 years, which will be just enough time to capture 2 cities in 3 years to do the 4 Kushite cities that fall. We are capturing them actively, yes? Yes, we do have units in there. We have a truce established with Kush, which I believe means that they can't declare war on us, and we can't declare war on them for, yes, 5 turns. So we need to make the most of those turns. Then we'll capture our 5th city right here in Akasha. And that is going to be it for our 2 ambitions, bringing us up to 9 ambitions. Once we complete these ambitions, or in other words, in 4 years, everyone is going to turn against us. We do have ruthless AI enabled inside of this game, and I believe the negative opinion modifier is 600. So there is no peace that will be guaranteed after that. So when we're being attacked from all angles, we want to make sure that we're able to hold on to the wonders where we can, capture the wonders that we need. We do have this additional one here, I believe, yeah, in resin, which is not too far from where our forces might be able to punch through. Assyria is officially weaker than us, and they're getting pummeled by a similar power of Greece, still at war with them. They're holding their own, which is great. We want them to, both these people, to lose all of their troops, if possible. But if we really want wonders, we have to look at Greece. Greece has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wonders in-house. Frankly, if we only fought Greece, that would be more than enough for us to be able to pull off our victory. We also have, in 12 years, the museum online, so we'll certainly have to keep an eye on that. We want to make sure that our civics continue to pile up, that our stone continues to pile up, because we do want to try to be building another wonder in every city, every turn, if we can. Taking a look at the available wonders, there are 2 more left. So that certainly would reduce the overall war that we would need to feel secure, but that's going to cost a pretty penny. 1,800 stone is going to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of 18,000 gold. Not exactly something that you just find lying around. Luckily, we do have some excellent resources in other avenues, but those might have to be utilized for war. We are similar in strength, but that's not going to last forever. Internally, we might as well take care of our half-brother, make sure that they stay tutored up to the best of our ability. We'll only be able to get 1 tutor mission off on them. They're not even a student anywhere, which is really too bad. Not the best thing for an heir, but at least they're blessed. At least they're blessed. We will use the barracks instructor to get the prince up to snuff. Hopefully he might be able to become either a builder or, failing that, become a builder or, failing that, become another general. Definitely would be useful. Besides that, it's really just cleanup crews. That's the only thing on our mind. We don't have the best units to be fighting these axes with only spears, but so we'll bring in a couple of elephants just to make do. We do need to keep an eye on our workers. All over the place, we could be getting quarries out and online, but we have bigger fish to fry, unfortunately, in the meantime. Production-wise, I like more science, but frankly, I want to be holding on to my civics. We really don't want to be messing with that, actually, because the civics are going to be able to give us additional options to be able to make more wonders. So frankly, gold and civics have become actually very important to my game. In fact, we can delay this Axeman that doesn't really mean much of anything and also do this, because that's 400 gold a turn and a whole bunch of civics. In Carthago, it is going to be 100 gold a turn and a whole bunch of civics. So it's going to do a lot to increase our production here. I think we should actually keep that going everywhere. We want to make sure that we're making as much money as possible because, again, we have a huge nut to crack as far as what we need to afford. I want to get these wonders started. Oh, almost forgot. We also have the Kothon going. So let's go ahead and get a quick count. We already have Yaz inside of our borders. That's Wonder 2. That's Wonder 3, which leaves only 4 more to go. If we go into a war against Kush, that'll only net us 2. But if we come here and join the war against the Assyrians, that's an easy one to pick up here. And that would actually open up the avenues that we have to fight Greece into overlapping fields of fire. Not to mention, if we opened up the Atlantic, that would also be very advantageous. Greece does have access to some boats. Only biremes, though, and we do have access to triremes, so it's probably in our favor to take a little bit of a detour to delay our already broken training, because if we need to get these barracks back up to make our training faster, to actually take some time to get a stonecutter specialist in here, so that way we are able to start pumping ships out into the Atlantic Ocean. If we can get a couple of triremes, take over this bay, it'll make it much easier for us to transport our troops directly into Alexandria's back lines. So Greece has 5 wonders. The Apadana and the Mausoleum are in Pella. The Royal Library and Jebel Barkal is in Alexandria. So with the 3 wonders that we have under our belt, these 2 cities alone would grant us all the additional wonders that we need. So scouting is needed in here. We definitely want to make sure that we know what's going on. We're going to have to rely on Elefante to make us our boats. These 2 cities are just going to be too slow. Back to production in Pincushion. It is a military powerhouse. I don't want to take my foot off the gas. We do need additional units coming out. We can't just delay everybody back into economy because when war comes for us again, which it will, we need to be ready. In we don't really care about this city. We might as well repair it. But even if it becomes cannon fodder just to defend Murad, because it's the easier target, so they'll go here first, we don't really care about losing the city. We don't care about losing any cities that don't have wonders. All right, Drusus' Ascent has led to more rebels. Fine. Longbowmen. Oh, no. Okay, the Patriarch is dead. The Patriarch is now the new head of paganism. Okay, we don't hate a diplomat. And our general is severely ill. I was hoping you would have some more time to enjoy retirement. I was going to make you a governor once you finally retired, which is only 1 year away. Oh my god. It's like a movie. I just got 1 more year till pension. Ends up getting severely ill and dying. My lord. Free law tolerance. I'm fine with orthodoxy. We have plenty of wonders, and we have plenty of things we might need to rush, actually, so orthodoxy is great. Manny is happy, or the prophet becomes disappointed. Yeah, let's go ahead and piss off Judaism. We, again, don't really care. Opinion from all other nations doesn't matter anymore. Everyone is going to be furious with us in 3 turns, so there's no saving us, opinion-wise. So we just kind of have to only focus on internal politics. That is the only saving grace we have access to. To do that, we are going to take a quick moment to influence you. Get that back up into a place where it should be. But I'm actually going to take that back. I'm just going to go ahead and slap you in as the ambassador just to fix this up as best we can immediately. And I'm going to get myself a husband. Let's take a peek. I would like a family marriage to the Riders. They're the lowest on the totem pole. We certainly want to make them a little bit more happy. They also would like salt, and we have salt, so we'll give that to them. And let's go ahead and just take some time to get everybody over 100. Internal politics looking much better. As far as the cleanup is concerned, let's go ahead and see how gnarly of a route we can get off. Doing some pretty decent damage. Almost able to clear, but not quite. I think they have poke 1. They do. Excellent. Route up and through. Can you kill? You can't. But if I hit you once, you can. So I'm going to save my unit and not go for the kill here. This city's in danger. Turning our eyes over to Elefante, the cleanup continues. We need to repair everything that we can. It looks like we'll only be able to get one of these repairs off, but that's okay. Working on Azerbaijan now is a bit of a slog because of all the intricate river systems around here. But we should be able to get a pretty decent route series off. I wish you could get over here, but I don't want to waste the orders. Unfortunately, it looks like we have to. That's fine. I'll even take a heal here. No reason to lose units. Finish the repair projects and get the city back online. We should be able to clean up these last axemen next turn easily enough. Stolen Legacy. As the schemer dies, who was our previous pope, There was always 2 steps ahead, ever prepared, and some part of you perhaps did not properly believe that even death could get the upper hand over him. But he's truly gone. His lifeless eyes did not convince you. Then perhaps the fact that you hold in your hands his life's work, a book of blackmail, with secrets' very existence as long regarded as mere rumor. Cool. Righteous is interesting, but I don't need it. I'll take the Book of Secrets and just, again, further lean into family opinion. Okay, I can shave 4 turns off battle line and arm Babylon. That's going to be a pass from me. Yeah, we don't want Babylon to have any more troops to be able to retake their city later on. I'm okay with the additional time it takes for us to get this going. An air education. It would really be nice to get a builder available. So I am going to put you into commerce school and hope for a builder. Just to have it available in my back pocket in case I decide that I need it. Give your newest city to one of the families. Everyone's pretty happy with me, but we want to keep them happy with me. The traders have the fewest cities. Let's give it to them. For the spy master, I'll increase your charisma to increase my family opinion. Sounds good. And please never stop stealing science from the Kush. The science is a little bit less than it used to be, but it is still 50 more than anybody else. Wow, the Kush must really be kicking themselves for not producing better quality units. In our newly conquered cities, we're going to keep doing the repair projects, and maybe walls will come after that soon enough. I want this stonecutter finished, so I'm actually just going to rush it out using extra orders because I want to get working on triremes immediately. I feel like a couple would be really good, but we can't even get them started until next year because this is completely landlocked for the time being. For our available workers, I guess we should just have them focus on getting whatever stone we can get our hands on. It might be a little slow, but, you know, it does save us something in the long run. I guess if you're around and available. In fact, I'll even take these settlers, bring them over, upgrade them into workers, so that way we can just make more quarries, because we don't really need anything else. Kush is now at the war with the Danes. Good, give them something to chew on. That's fine by me. And the lion dies. No. Oh, Hannah. Hannah, you will not soon be forgotten. A warlike, swift besieger zealot. Owner of the sword, former regent, and honorably abdicated the throne when the rightful heir came of age. Oh, I was hoping to make you a governor. You would have been one just this year. Rest in peace, my beloved. All right. Well, don't worry. This will certainly be locked down. And a family marriage offer. We got a zealot and an orator. He is our best general, strapped to one of our best units. He's a very powerful general, so I don't mind having him in my back pocket, lovey-dovey. The Delver is interesting. Most of our stone is coming from Murad. That's a recent conquest, isn't it? So, yeah. Let's play nice with the Delver. Azurbane's the next one up for stone production. So we will put him in stone production. Give me a whole bunch of extra 5 stone. Whoopee. Alright, let's finish this cleanup because we really need to get focused on not just outright losing. Route kill. Fantastic. Hit and kill. Fantastic. Okay. Alright, I would like to use these horsemen to harass over here. So, can you all finish off this guy on your own? Wonderful. Start marching you guys this way. March you over here. We will take, I suppose, combat. And I guess only march you here because I really need to heal. Commerce studies. So we got no builder. I suppose schemer is fine. A little bit of extra science in our back pocket never hurt. And one more family for the traders. Seems okay. Everyone still seems happy with us. Fix this final range. It looks like this mine is going to go by the way of the dinosaur, unless I can rush you over here. I could. I think this does have a miner, so I don't want to lose it. Perhaps a bit of a waste, delaying our wonder for a turn. Can we get somebody else on that? We can. And we're not using our training for much else, so I don't want to slow down our wonder production. Back to turning all of our workers into quarry makers. And we really need to focus on healing up these units. We need to be keeping an eye on Kush and Babylon, because remember, just because we had 5 years, we only have 2 more. So they can declare war in 2 years if they wanted to, and we can see they're already taking the time to upgrade their units. We aren't able to steal these either. We don't have the Zealot anymore. Let's make sure that we are bringing our elephants back to safety. At least starting the heals to come online. Leave this longbow man to finish the cleanup and start bringing our units back. It's a delicate balance we're going to have to strike here. On one hand, we don't want to let up on the gas, but we also don't want to leave these cities defenseless. Walls are coming. Moat is coming after that. We can assign this governor if we wanted to. We're missing the orders for it, but we can buy the orders. We have plenty of training. That's not a worry of ours at all. Just to get this out a little bit faster, 4 years to have it all put together. Seems fine. More tradable pearls. We'll give those to the traders next turn, get them into friendly territory. But it's getting a little dicey. We are officially considered close to winning, so we're now at the negative 240 marker. And soon, once we get this city locked down, we'll be needing to be stopped. So, a bit dubious at best. Azerbaijan will heal on its own in 1 more turn. So I think the city needs to get back into building us more additional units. Longbowman's the best it can provide for us, so that's what it shall. End our year. Alright, the prince got an additional wisdom. It's good on our schemer. And he got an extra charisma, also good on our schemer. Yep, let's go ahead and adopt the religion. Make sure everyone gets a little bit happier with us yet again. And my dog is going to make me even more brave. If war comes, she is going to be very powerful. She's fierce, she's a commander. I'm not opposed to it. We can't keep dealing with this nonsense. But it's looking like we kind of have to at least deal with it for 1 more turn. Should be able to clean this up next year. Looks like the Kush are taking the city. Honestly, I am fine with that. Murad is the big one that we want to defend, so I do want to make sure that we at least get 1 unit fortified here. And maybe build a fort here. Babylon will come from Murad first. And when they do, we want to make sure that we're holding this lakeway to make sure that we're as defended as possible. We have the unit makeup to make this really work. So I'm not too worried about defending this, but making our assault work is going to be a little bit more difficult. Let's do a count again. We have 1 wonder. These are going to be 2. If we build 4 and 5 from the 2 legendary wonders available, that means we only need 2 more wonders. So perhaps that is just a rematch here against the Kush. But for us to be able to do that and not have to swing our forces all the way around, yeah, I think that's the right call. We know Kush, we know where they are, all our units are already here. It's going to save us the most amount of orders. We can use Orthodoxy to rush out additional people. Yeah, the more I think about it, the better off I think it is. We are definitely in our best interest to fight against Kush yet again. Which means we only need to defend Carthago and Nice, because those are going to be the only 2 cities that are going to have wonders in them. Everything north of that can fall, so we need to create choke points here and not invest too heavily over on this side. These are actually fine because they're actually in the borders of Carthago, so we do want to start just wandering all the way around this way to build out a whole bunch more quarries, start building them down in this way as well. While I'm thinking about that, I'm actually going to grab this miner and rush it for 13 orders just to grab access to these other 3 quarries and get started working on our defenses. We do have the natural lake right here, which is certainly going to help. So I'm going to bulldoze these 2 farms to make forts. Because again, we're in the everything else can be sacrificed. If it doesn't help us win the game, we don't care. Nice is going to be the hardest to defend. We need to get units up here and fortified. Luckily, we do have a very nice military production inside of this city, so it will be able to defend itself a little bit. In fact, I'll go ahead and start working on triremes in this city. Getting a couple just to make sure we're able to defend across the waterways in case that comes up is going to be important to our overall goals. And again, we are doing a rematch against the Kush. Hopefully we can hold off long enough so we can get cohorts, but we shall see. We shall see. We do have peace with Greece, we do have peace with Assyria, so even though they're furious with us, they're more furious with each other. So they don't necessarily want to declare a war on me, but we should keep an eye out turn over turn for when these guys actually find themselves in a truce. That's when we're going to be in danger. I think we should probably keep at least some forces here in Azerbaijan. Elefante should, for the most part, be able to defend itself, but getting at least 2 units fortified here and here is going to be probably the best way that we can defend this city. First and foremost, we need to take care of our most glaring weakness, weakened elephants. And we do have the ability to upgrade our longbows, so we're going to take advantage of that while we can. It's going to cost a lot, so we don't necessarily want to spend too much of our gold, because our gold can otherwise be utilized even better for wonders. We are going to take some time to fortify back into this city with the units that we have. Move people appropriately away from the front line. Move our onager into place. Again, we don't really care about Celeb. If it falls, it falls. So I'd rather move this onager up into these hills to launch in either direction for the war. In if we're not working on anything else, walls just to make them choke on the city sounds fun. And I'll even take some time to heal up this scout so we can go back into their territory and get a better idea of what we have coming after us. Continue to send units out towards the front lines. We want our fortifications down sooner rather than later. And frankly, we're pretty low on a lot of cannon fodder. Taking that into consideration, I will get some more cannon fodder. A round of them in every single city that isn't really good at doing a council mission anyway. Seems like a good use of our time. I don't even know if these guys are going to be done soon enough to be useful in a war, but it certainly doesn't hurt. We do have more luxuries available to us, so we will be giving them to families next turn. It would be nice to have everybody over 200 opinion to get the combat bonus. Battle line is up. The old queen is dead, and we have a new scholar. Good. All right. I mean, he's a great scholar, but quite frankly, this is amazing. The tactician was pretty scary, so I'm glad that she's gone. Prince Bebe has died. I didn't even know I had a Prince Baby. Okay, well, that sucks. The Spy Master did the trick, 200 science in the back pocket. That's more science than we produce on our own. Love that. We got an ill governor, and her brother lost to courage. Not great, but okay. And we are known as the Conqueror. Haven't conquered anything, but I will certainly take that. We have now got 9 of our ambitions done, only 1 more to do. I become mourning to become inspiring. Or I become mourning to become compassionate, getting rid of ruthless. No, I will keep ruthless, but I will take inspiring. Why not? Trapped. Of course, he was touring the mine. He was always touring the mines. All right, so our Delver is trying to make us more stone. I am not risking myself. I am pretty damn good. I'm stressed, so I have to work on that, actually. I completely forgot about that. So we'll take care of that. And for this new family, the traders bring the least amount of units to the fight. So I'm willing for them to take the biggest brunt of these, foreign wars coming in from Kush if things go wary, if these cities need to take a beating. Frankly, even if you have to sacrifice some of them, it's fine. Endgame-wise, we've skipped over Spoked Wheel, we've skipped over Administration. We don't need either. Scholarship is fine, but it's not going to get us anything more for military, so I'm going to completely ignore it, which only leaves us to Court Soldier, which, frankly, sounds great in time of a war. Finally, we can be able to finish up the cleanup, or God, I at least hope so. Are we not able to? Oh, I'm so sad. Are you able to kill? You are able to kill my unit. So I even have to retreat, which is just embarrassing. Alright, so you come here, and I guess it's just heal. Lame. We will take Brave. We're going up against a lot of Spearsmen, and I imagine Pikes. And I guess next year you die. We are abandoning the north. Want to make sure that no units are getting caught out. We are officially at the point where Kush can declare war. Oh, 4 turns since the last war. So next year they should be able to declare war. So I do want to make sure these units are out of harm's way from immediately being rushed. It will be a shame to lose these northern cities. They're a huge amount of our food economy, wood economy. Frankly, we might have to defend them to at least a certain extent, but this isn't where the most of their forces are, and their orders will be coalesced up here in the west because that's where the threat is. Let's make sure our elephants are protected. Let's keep them away from the front lines where we can. When they are fully healed, let's keep them up in the woods where they'll take less damage from range attacks, and heal up whoever else we can. The Painted Demons. Okay, you want to be a Highlander? You already have Fierce, so I will take Highlander. Highlander sounds great. Let's go find you a hill to stand on. Gotta make sure not to waste you. Again, we want to make sure these cities are just something to choke on. But let's take a quick peek to see if we can get another wonder started. Heliopolis needs to be somewhere dry. Well, luckily we do actually have some dry tiles underneath all of this damn forest. So we'll come here, we'll force march into here. Heliopolis is going to cost 15 grand. I can sell all but 600 of our food. I guess I can spare some of this iron. And we will get back some of this food over time. And I guess we sell the wood. That feels bad. But Heliopolis is at least started. 17 years. Bleeding our economy dry for this wonder play. But honestly, I'd rather bleed the economy than bleed our troops. And again, Assyria has their hands full with Greece, and Greece seems content to conquer all of Assyria, so we won't worry about Greece until Assyria is dead. Or again, if a truce breaks out. And we do need to grab these wonders, because just because everybody else is busy with war or recovering their economy, we do need to grab the last legendary wonder before another AI does. Otherwise, that's another city we need to conquer outside of these 3 at the Kush. We are going to come and move our units into position, fortify on the stronghold, keep funneling units down to get into fortified positions. Because we got a lot more to defend than what we're currently having. Want to make sure this Onager is in place. Grab additional heals where we can. And keep moving units out to the front line. Hopefully we are blessed and our next tech is cohorts. And we have to make sure that we're keeping our steel research missions going. Kush is still by far the best target. I'm already thinking about what happens when we lose the north. We need to expand our existing bread baskets, get some granaries down in key locations, maybe build some more farms back here. A lot of work. A lot of work. In Pincushion, I'll take a quick break. Build another apprentice officer before we start building out more troops, because we just bled our economy dry. And end our year there. And just like that, Assyria has built the Colosseum. Damn it. Okay. That's a bit of a hindrance. What we can still do is... The king consort is wounded. Okay, who cares? What we can still do is continue on with our fight with the Kush. Peace them out as we already intended to. Or truce them out once we've taken these as we initially intended to. And then turn our sights back over here into the south to focus on the shattered Assyrians, who seem to still be holding their own. They've dragged Greece down into weaker than us now. So hold on, wait a minute. Wouldn't we just rather fight them? Holy crap, Assyria, you dragged them all the way down to weaker? Well done. That does change things a bit. Let's focus on the things we need to get done. Please, let's just finish off this incursion. Great, that is done. There's no way for us to maintain peace with Kush. There just isn't. They're always going to be furious with us. Their opinion is negative 700, so there's no bailing out of that. All right, so let's link this through. Events first. Bender break. Days begin to blur, nights bring exhaustion but not sleep. There is never enough time, yet somehow the hours crawl away. I am stressed, I lose 5 orders. Yes, let's absolutely indulge in revelry. Should have done that before on our own. Sowing discord. Splendor of Galwal has become the envy of across the borders in Kush. You have been approached with agents wishing to bring the glory of Carthage. We gain us 1 spearman. They lose 10 health in their city. We gain 6 legitimacy, and it declares war. We're not ready. We're not ready for war. I lose money, but we pay the rebels. We betray the rebels, and they become conspiring with me, plus 100 opinion. It doesn't really matter. There's no saving our opinion here. But I'm not ready for war, so I'll take the legitimacy hit. The public purse. We can get all of our families above 200 for the cost of 600 gold. We need our gold. We need our gold, but this is pretty good as far as war efforts are concerned. Camels and paws. In the middle of the day, your dog comes barreling through the court, caterwauling and whimpering as it runs between corridors and skids on the stone floors. A hairy servant rushes into the court. My apologies, my queen. The dog startled several camels. The oligarch was thrown from his camel and chased the dog across the courtyard. All right. I can make the oligarch influenced, and I give up my pet. The oligarch holds a favor from the queen. I am not charming. Ditch the dog owner. I'll go ahead and grab the additional opinion. That is phenomenal. I love to see these numbers above 200. We are just bleeding legitimacy this turn. Broke ties with the gods of Tyr. This is so late in the game. Normally as Carthage, this comes up a lot earlier, but no, we spit in the eyes of the gods of Tyr. Oh, wow. Bled a whole bunch of legitimacy that turn. That's a little brutal. But all of those events kind of just made me realize that we don't really want war with Kush. If war comes, our main objective is literally just to slow them down and hold on to Murad. Because really, all of the major wonders are over here. These guys are still at war, bleeding each other out turn over turn. So we should be pointing our army this way. It's going to be a huge drag, well, dragging them all the way over, but it's actually not that far to start getting to Nimrud, which has to fall before Resin anyways. Not to mention here is closer to all of our supply lines. Even Nice is very easy to bring troops into the fold over here. Feels a little bad, but I guess we just abandon these cities. We don't know where they're building the Colosseum. We just know that they're building the Colosseum. It must be in Resin, because that's their only legendary city as far as I can tell. So it is in Resin. It takes 16 years to build a legendary wonder. And Assyria doesn't have a builder on the throne. So 16 years is what it's going to take for that wonder to come online and for us to nab it. That means we don't need to go to war until then. We can still do some positioning. and maybe even declare war on Greece to lend aid to Assyria, but they're both weaker now. Yes. Okay. I'm going to bring my forces into Pincushion and wait. If we lose all of these cities, I don't care, especially if it takes enough time for us to get another truce deal done with the Kush. It's a little weird, but I don't hate it. We'll grab a garrison here, bring our melee units up into the front, and start fortifying. This unit's a little bit exposed, but that's honestly fine. We'll bring the onager in here, and hopefully this is enough of a wall, and this just buys us enough time. We then move all of our other units to the Greek, well, let's call it the Atlantic Theater of War. And if we need to come back to defend Murad, at least they'll all already be in Pincushion. Let's make sure we're keeping our eyes on this fight. We'll bring another explorer in to keep the eyes deeply on it. It does seem like Greece is getting the upper hand. So yes, I mean, if we're going full defense, then it's abandon these cities to protect these core, bring everything back to Pincushion for the random defense of Murad. That's 1 wonder, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in Assyria. And then we have to kill all of Greece? That doesn't make any sense either. I think we just go for Greece. I think we have to. We officially don't need to worry about our resources anymore. Our resources are all spent on the things that need to be spent on. They can all just be spent on war now again, which is pretty good. Which means food is not important anymore. We can go back to building units. I'll take some macemen. I would like more iron. We have plenty of hills to get it. Okay, a plan's starting to take form. Yeah, we're back on the idea of going over the Atlantic Ocean with triremes and invading Greece. We just need to get in position for it and specifically hold on to Murad, but maybe not even hold on to Murad, because if we are able to take on Greece and get a nice little attack off on them over on the mainland, then we'll be kind of golden, because that's 4 wonders, so we won't really even need to take more than just 2 of their cities. Okay, this is starting to feel really strong. I don't care about the development of any of these cities, but I would like to get walls everywhere just to make these take a little bit longer to kill. Free court soldier. Revelries led to an event. People are ill or recovering from ill. Okay. A little advice. We become... Let's take a peek. It took patience, experimentation, and a help of a good number of practiced individuals, but you got there in the end. An evening of such exquisite sensual perfection that the troubles of everyday life seem suddenly to belong to another person. You do perhaps have some tiny regrets of inviting the spy master, though. She means well, she really does. Darling, you really better check, though. You never know when the heavens will a new child. Just a few minutes and the sheaf of barley, and then you can stop wondering about it. Okay. All right, fine. I can become a new kid. Maybe get a new kid, or she becomes disappointed. All right, yeah, sure, whatever. Take a little advice. Himmelko. Highlander Tactician. Great. Welcome, brother. We can use as much as we can get our hands on. No sign, not a single sproutling. She becomes disappointed anyways. All right, well, that's what it is. Shame. I can get a whole bunch of additional damage, which is always nice, or tough on everybody. I like tough. Tough sounds pretty good here. We are going to be going for cohorts. And we're going to keep on stealing as much tech as we can from the Kush. Let's remember that roads are nice. And we can just make sure that this is a little bit easier on our troops to get clear across the water. So many elephants. You will stay here. In fact, a couple of archers will stay here. I think with upgrades they'll be okay, but the onager really ought to come to the front lines. I'll take my cannon fodder as well. And can we rush this with 10? We cannot, but we can rush this with civics, so I shall. I want to get 2 boats up as soon as we can. Because again, we're going to try to lead a naval conquering here. Keeping that in mind, we need to move our scouts into position. We'll keep one eye on the fight, and we'll keep one eye on the landing. Can't forget our cannon fodder, and end the year. Alright, stealing more tech. All looks good. Friendly and pleased. I'm not giving up my gold. Gold is meant only to upgrade units into swordsmen. The Prophet Jonah. You're a zealot, right? Yes. Get in here, the Prophet. We need all the generals that we can get. The Prophet strikes back. The Queen is no longer drought-stricken, but becomes exiled. We must listen carefully to this firebrand. That's fine. Or I can kill him outright. No, I like the general. Stick around, Jonah. You are worth more than just 1 stat on myself. We just need to get our units into the city. Leading with our elephants. Might as well take shield bearer. It's not going to hurt. Brave's also very good. Definitely already missing our swift zealot. Moments like this make you really miss all the movement. But we're, you know, we're slogging through. We're making do. Happy for the orders that we have. Choosing a target to pick in this game can always be some of the most concerning stuff. It always feels weird to conquer lands just to abandon them. Leaving one city kind of well underdeveloped as far as protection is concerned. But it is in this part, I think, the right play. I mean, what we really need to be doing here is just defending the city, and even if we can't, it's not the end of the world. We'll have 3 wonders of our very own in 14 turns, and we'll be able to steal 4 wonders here to get our 7. So even if all of these cities fall, even if we lose everything west of Arat, we're still going to be okay. It's really just the heart that needs to survive. We can lose everything in the north. We can lose everything in the west. And as long as we're able to take this entire fighting force and in 14 years make landing on Alexandria and wipe it out, we're golden. We're going to have cohorts in not 9 years. It'll be even fewer because we're going to keep stealing from the Kush. But eventually we want to make sure that we have enough resources to upgrade all of our existing spears and axemen into swordsmen. It's going to do a big benefit to our overall military force. So production-wise, it's kind of hard to decide on what we want. Yeah, we'll go with spearmen, make use of our wood, and just kind of use them as cannon fodder. We can pump them out in 2 turns and use them in the places that we need them. We have a whole bunch more cannon fodder coming into the front lines, which is always good, and we have a glut of training, so we'll be able to turn all of our existing workers that aren't working on wonders into additional conscripts and really push our cannon fodder lead. Everywhere else, if it's in the west, it's building defenses. It's just meant to be hard to chew on. All right, we got extra rebels from Zoroastrian descent. Annoying. Pincushion has died. All right. Plotting and scheming. The king of the Danes really, comes to you with an unexpected offer. It seems that the king has recently purchased a large quantity of supplies and is sending payment over land. Their treasure wagons are only lightly guarded. If you would but provide a logistical support, the Danes will descend upon the caravan guards and dispatch them. That's a whole bunch of gold for the training that we have way too much of. Gold and a caravan. Or the king becomes endeared of Assyria. I don't care about Assyria. I will take the flat gold and the caravan. Sounds great. Wood for additional opinion. I don't hate it. Food for additional opinion. I don't hate it. Food I'm more willing to get rid of. Food doesn't necessarily translate into military outside of elephants, so I'm okay with the sacrifice. And I don't really care about any governors in the west. I will take the time to send this over to the Babylonians, because quite frankly, they're the least threat. So maybe it'll get over there fast enough where we might actually get the gold from this. Who knows? Econ is looking back in respectable numbers, and it really looks like Greece is on kind of its last legs. The cities are completely undefended. I mean, quite frankly, a blitzkrieg attack is going to be more than enough to take them out. But the question is, do we wait? I don't know. It's nice that we can do them right now and they'll be distracted. We'll be able to take them out, take out the city, fight them in this open flat land, which will really favor our units. But I think we should probably wait at least until we have cohorts. Swords and elephants and longbows is going to be more than enough to take and hold it. And I think it'll be actually well timed. But this game is coming to its conclusion. Well, I'm sorry if this is a bit of a boring episode comparatively to the last one, guys. But, you know, not everything can be raucous in this game. Sometimes it's just a lot of prep work to make sure that things go off right. We are in danger from getting warred on all sides, but honestly, I think we're going to be, for the most part, okay. The Kush are a bit of a worry. I won't lie. I am a little bit dubious of how long our western flank will take to fall. But hopefully it's long enough for us to be able to grab a peace deal somehow. But more so than anything, I'm just kind of happy to grab my upgrades where I can. Things are really starting to feel nice in that regard. Getting ready to take on the war, moving all of our units out to the front, letting our wonders cook. We're really in a strong position. Oh, well, I'm glad these units are here because they're about to get inundated. Grab a quick peek shot where we can. Make these guys land out in the open field. That's actually super annoying, but it's fine. I'm not mad. You're mad. What other generals do we have? You're young and great. Throw you on there. We got some pretty good units all in all around here. Might as well take the upgrades on the existing bowmen that we have. No reason to have any of our units not at their greatest strength. Production-wise and pincushion. Let's go ahead and just work on conscripts. Seems completely fine. And I will take some time to change my laws. Vassalage, I think, in this point is going to be more worth it just to help out our economy where we can. Is there anything else that would help us out economically? No, I'm pretty happy with where everything else is. We're kind of all set up law-wise for war. End our year. Oh, wow. These barbs are actually annoyingly strong. I am doomed? Oh, no. Oh, okay. Well, we got a new prince baby. We're gonna put him on the throne, I guess. Oh my god. Alright, well, this queen becomes vengeful against this queen. Sure, sounds great. Yeah, who cares? I'm dead. Becomes endeared to me. Doesn't really matter, but they become a soldier. Or they become strict. Yeah, they become a soldier. That sounds great. The oligarch will get extra discipline. Nice. We have a whole bunch of orders. We're doing great on orders. We're doing great on legitimacy. We're doing great on positioning. And I love our strategy. But we're dead. And quite frankly, this episode's gone a little bit long. It's been a little bit dry, a lot of prep, but we have a nice incursion for the next episode. We have an invasion planned. We have our boats for lading coming on quite soon. And a nice war brewing. Both Greece and Assyria are weaker, so this war has been perfect between them. Plenty of cannon fodder, plenty of units, the right strategy, the right plan. Just need a couple more turns from stealing tech. And I think we'll be ready to pop off. Well, guys, I think we'll have the conclusion, win or lose, in the next episode. So in the meantime, happy conquering.